Okay, so let's jump right into Tears in the Rain here. The number one thing about this is this has a consistent finger picking pattern that goes throughout the entire piece. So we're basically playing different chords while keeping the same consistent pattern going in the right hand. So let me show you that pattern first before we do anything else, and then we can just lay the chords on the neck and we've got everything together that we need. So let's just start out. You can just do it with open strings. Let's just do it on these top 4 strings here. When you finger pick, try to keep your angle of your wrist about a 45-degree angle coming down on the guitar, just like you do with your pick. And keep your fingers, you don't want them overextended. You don't want your palm too close to where you can't really use your fingers to the fretboard. So you know, a lot of guitar players, they get too close because they try to, like, they're so used to having their palm down on the bridge and stuff. So get some elevation here between you and the guitar. The back of your palm should remain relatively still. And you want to use these joints, the big joints. They're kind of like your hips right here. And then the middle joint of your finger is kind of like your knee. It just kind of follows through. But the power and the movement comes from your back knuckles. Okay? So what we want to try to do with positioning is have it on the left side of your each fingertip. And we're going to make sure your fingers do not, your thumb does not go behind your fingers. So when you execute the thumb movement, go into about the side of the first finger, but never behind it, because then these fingers can't do their regular movements. All right, so try to keep that form, guidelines, and shape. It's a very simple 6-note picking pattern. Let's just take the top 4 open strings here, and we're going to pick the open D string, and then we're going to have our index finger play the open third, and then the open second with your middle finger, and then we're going to start reversing it. We're going to go to our third finger, our ring finger, on the open E, and then come back down the same notes. 2 on your middle finger on the second string, and then 3 on the first finger on the G. So we have 3 up, 3 down, basically. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay? Now, he finger picks this song, and he's also on an acoustic. I'm obviously playing this on an electric. You can play it on any guitar. You can also, it's a great picking exercise if you maybe do cross picking with it. So you may want to practice it 2 different ways, or if you don't like doing finger picking and you'd rather just pick it, that is 3 down strokes. Down, 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 up, up, up. So you can do it kind of like the Al Di Meola picking style. So I'm going to finger pick this through the lesson, but feel free to play it any way you want. Okay, so now let's get to the chords. I'm going to be doing that same picking pattern on each one of these chords, and I'll let you know if the picking pattern uses different strings or not. But for right now, this first chord that we're going to play is the hardest chord of the entire song. So don't think that, oh God, this is a beast. The rest of the song is, the chords in the song are much easier than this one. It requires quite a bit of a stretch from the 3rd to the 7th fret. We're going to start on the 4th string with our pinky at the 7th fret, and then our 2nd finger at the 5th fret on the 3rd string, then our 1st finger at the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. And then the 1st string is going to be open, so you got to really arc that 1st finger so you can get that over the 1st finger. So if you got all those notes clean, it creates a really nice chord. So then taking that, we're going to go through the picking pattern. Do it once. All right. Then we're going to go to the 3rd fret on the 4th string with your 1st finger. 4th fret on the 3rd string with your 3rd finger, and then your 2nd finger at the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. So it's kind of like you have a D major shape here. Move it up 1 string each, and move it up 1 fret. This gives you like this diminished shape. Do the pattern on the top 4 strings, the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th strings. You just do it once, then move that shape up 3 frets. And then do the exact same pattern. And then the last chord in this 4-chord sequence is the same as the first. So we have this. So really get that bass line down. So you do that progression twice. All right, then we're going to move up to this shape. This is a good little finger twister here too, but not as big of a stretch. Second finger at the 7th fret, 4th string. Pinky at the 9th fret on the 3rd string. First finger at the 6th fret on the 2nd string. And then your 3rd finger is going to be at the 8th fret on the 1st string. So you did the picking pattern once. Then an easy maneuver to get to the next chord is leave your 2nd finger where it's at. It's kind of your guide finger. And take your 1st finger and bar across the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd strings. Just like that. Okay? And we have this. So I left this finger here, and this finger is barring everything else. The other 2 fingers are doing nothing. Then you go straight back to the chord you just came from, and then back to that bar chord. So we do that twice. All right. Then we go to this F major 7th chord, which is you're still doing this bar here, so you just leave that here and move your pinky to the 8th fret on the 5th string and your 3rd finger to the 7th fret on the 4th string. And then now we're going to take the picking pattern to the 4 middle strings, because you got the 2 5s on the 2nd and 3rd string. So that same picking pattern, but now on the middle group of 4 strings. Now, I just played that pattern twice on that chord. That's how many times you got to play it. So it's twice on this chord. So this next chord, which I'll also play the pattern twice on, is very close. You were playing this F major 7 shape before. Take your 3rd finger and move it over the same fret to the 3rd string. Then take your 2nd finger and lay it at the 6th fret on that 4th string. All right? So now we have pinky here at 8, 6th fret on the 4th, 7th fret on the 3rd, and this 1st finger is still getting this, still sitting here with a bar here at the 5th fret. So we have 4 middle strings again. There's a little retard there. You're just going to slow down a little bit. All right, and then we finish it off the first half like this. Now that we still have that bar going at the 5th fret, so all we have to do is take our pinky at the 7th fret on the 4th string, and then our 3rd finger at the 7th fret on the 5th string, and still do that. You still got the bar going across the 2nd and 3rd strings here. Picking pattern once, the 4 middle strings, and then we go to an E dominant 7 shape, which is basically just 3rd finger stays here at the 7th fret, 6th fret, 4th string with your 2nd finger, pinky right here at the 7th fret on the 3rd string, and then the 1st finger at the 5th fret on the 2nd string. So we just played each one of those chords once, the pattern once on each. Then this is all going to be done with your thumb right here, this little bass line here. It's 0, 2, 3 on the 5th string, then 0, 4 on the 6th, and then 2, 0 on the 5th. So we have. All right. Now that pauses a little bit, and now we get to a little bit, he starts speeding the tempos up a little bit. This first, it starts with basically the same thing that started the song. But instead of this A being here, we're going to have the octave lower A to start it. So it makes it a little bit easier there. So the first chord is this open A, and then those same 5-3-0 instead of this 7 here, 5-3-0. So you get to hold this like this. But now we have a string. We're picking the thumb on the open A, and then the picking pattern, the rest of it is being done on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd string. So you're skipping that 4th string with a picking pattern. Same pattern, except you're just playing it on different strings. So we have, and then we go to the same 2 diminished chords that we did in the intro. and then it still ends with the big stretch version of that A chord. So we have this. Then we pick that again, one more time through. And make sure while you're doing this one, you let that open A ring out as long as you can. Try not to bump into it with other fingers. Okay? So going from there, then we go to this chord. The piece is really starting to take off here. And we have the the fourth string is going to be open D string. The 9th fret, pinky, the 3rd string. 6th fret with your first finger on the 2nd string, and then the 8th fret. It's basically that same chord we played earlier in the song with our 2nd finger here at the 7th fret, 4th string, but just pick that up, make it open. Pick the pattern. We're back to just playing the pattern on the first 4 strings twice. Then we got this chord. Now all this basically is it's not that hard. It looks more difficult than it is. 2nd finger at the 8th fret on the 6th string. 3rd finger at the 9th fret, 3rd string. Pinky at the 10th fret, 2nd string. And then 1st finger at the 7th fret on the 1st string. So the picking pattern is going to be, your thumb's going to be playing on the 6th string, and then these 3 fingers are going to be playing the ones that your fingerings are actually holding, which is the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd strings. So we do that pattern twice. So those two chords together. And then we have this little phrase. So basically all that is it's your 2nd finger, it's the 7th fret on the 6th string, and the 7th frets on the 2 middle strings with your 3rd finger and your pinky here. So hold those 2 middle strings and get that 7 down here on the 2nd with your 2nd finger on the 6th string, and reach over and grab your 1st finger on the 2nd string, 5th fret. All right, so the strings we're hitting now are the 6th and then the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd. This is going to be kind of a quicker moving progression, so the pattern's just going to, the picking pattern is just going to be played once on each one of these chords. So we have this chord. Now it stays almost the same. You pick up your 2nd finger and you pick up your 3rd finger. Keep the 1st and 4th finger where it's at, but then take your 2nd finger and place it at the 6th fret on that 4th string. And we still have a low E, the 6th string still going, which is a low E now. All right, so this is on the 6th fret, that 4th string. 6, 7, 5. And then we go to this chord, which is just like an A minor shape with these second, 3rd, and 4th fingers. So this is your 6th fret, 2nd finger, pinky at the 7th fret, 3rd finger at the 7th fret, and then open A. So I'm doing the picking pattern on the 4 middle strings. 3rd finger by itself, leave that there, and then do that bar across the 2nd and 3rd strings with your 1st finger, and open A. So it's a 4 middle, the open 5th string underneath it all. So we have the 4 middle strings going now. So all 4 of those chords. All right, then we come back to these same 2 chords from before. Picking pattern played twice on each. And on this second one, you had that retard where you slow it down and make it really quiet. Then we start ending the song here. This diminished shape. We have the 11th fret, the 2nd finger, 5th string. 3rd finger at the 12th fret on the 4th string. 1st finger at the 10th fret on the 3rd string. And then your pinky in that 12th fret on the 2nd string right there. We're on the 4 middle strings. Pick the pattern twice there. And we're going to move this shape down 3 frets at a time and keep it the same. We got that there. So this is, we're going to call this 10th position because that's where our 1st finger's at. Then move it down to 7th position. Then 4th position. Then 1st position. So all by 3s. Just the pattern picked once on each one. Then we're going to this chord, which is going to be a bar across the 3rd fret on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings. Hold that like that. And then take your 3rd finger and hold the 4th fret on the 3rd string, and then the 2nd finger at the 4th fret on the 6th string. So we have this. You're going to be picking the 6th string with the picking pattern. Take that low G sharp there. And then the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string is going to be the rest of the picking pattern. Keep that shape the same. Let's move that down 3 frets. We're at the 3rd fret here, so we can make that a 0 by moving everything down to where that becomes a 0, and then you got these 2 at the 1st fret. So it's basically the same shape. Move down 3 frets. Picking pattern done once there. Okay? And then we end it with a standard A minor chord shape, but we have the 6th string in the picking pattern in the bass. So picking pattern is 6th string, and then the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd. So we have, and then we're going to end that with keeping the 2nd finger here, keeping the low 6th string here, the 2nd finger at the E on the 4th string, 2nd fret, 1st fret with your 1st finger on the 3rd string, and then the 2nd string open, E major chord. All right, so that was just done once on it. A little slow down or a little retard there, a little pause. Then just hold an A minor, basic A minor bar chord. All right, and what we're going to do is that same picking pattern, but we're going to do it on each string of 4, string sets of 4. So the bottom 4 strings, let's do the picking pattern there. Then on the middle 4 strings. Then go from the 4th all. Now we're not going to do the full pattern on this very last one. We're going to go just hit the first 4 notes in the pattern. So we have. We're going to end the song with these 2 chords. 7th fret on the 1st and 3rd strings with your 3rd finger on this 1st string, and then the 2nd finger here on the 3rd string. Just pick those with your thumb and your middle finger. Then move the 2nd finger up to the 9th fret on that 3rd string, and then put 8, your 1st finger down on the 8 on the 1st fret string, sorry. And still pick it the same. If you have a pick in your hand, you can just do hybrid picking. Pick gets this low note, and then your middle finger gets the top note. Let that note chord ring, and then hit the low A. 5th string open. And that's it for Tears in the Rain.